Yo, what is good, guys? It's Kenwall, and I want to let you guys know that I personally took an L on that Far Cry 5 gameplay because after I posted that video talking about it, developers started coming out with videos, or I found out about it late, and they started talking about what makes this game different from the other Far Cry games, and it got me really interested. They're making it like really open world in terms of like Skyrim, where there's not going to be a lot of hand holding. It's not going to be you set a waypoint and you go to it. It's going to be you're in Montana and you got to find a way to defeat this cult, which is really cool. And I will gladly take the L on this one. This was my fault, but we're not here for that today. We are going to be talking about Spider-Man for the PS4 and what I want to see from it. I want this game to bring back a nostalgia factor because I really want a good Spider-Man game that resembles Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man game that came out since, because the open world felt live and authentic, and it was just like the first of its kind, and it came out in the early 2000s, so they should be able to do stuff better than that since technology upgraded. But the first thing I want from the Spider-Man game is the story, like a Batman Arkham City. The story for that game was solid, but I want it where it's easy to follow along to and it just makes sense. That's why I liked Arkham City so much. It made sense. There's twists in it. That's what I want the Spider-Man game to be like. Something easy to follow, not as complex as Arkham City, but something easy to follow, has a couple of twists, some shocking reveals, but at the end of the day, everything ties together and it makes sense. So that's the first thing I want from Spider-Man PS4. Do you guys know if they're going to change that name? Because I really don't like that name. Second, I want a livid and lit, authentic open world. Since Insomniac said that we will be able to explore all of Manhattan, maybe even more. I think there's going to be a little bit more to the map. So I want them to try and give us a GTA experience of an open world where it feels real and authentic, where people are doing real things. Since it's New York, I want people to go to like hot dog vendors, getting taxis, calling for taxis and stuff, and like cars hitting into each other, and then they start arguing. I want something real like that. It's the little things that count for especially open world games, where it makes the gamers feel in tune with what's going on. And especially if it's an open world game, you have to have these things because no one's really going to want to explore the open world. So please add these things to this game. I already like the movement and the web slinging that was shown off in the reveal, but I kind of hope they bring back this web slinging ability that was in the Amazing Spider-Man game, the first Amazing Spider-Man game. I think that one came out when the first or second Amazing, no, it was the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, the first reboot of the series, and it was actually it was a decent game. It was a decent game. It was pretty good. It just, the story kind of fell flat at the end, but it was pretty good. And they had this ability called Web Rush, where you would like slow down time, and what it would make you do is create alternatives and different ways to fight or travel around the map. It was a really cool alternative to web sling. It was really cool. I really like the fighting in that game, especially because it would make you have aerial battles. That's what I always loved about Spider-Man games, especially the villains in it. I always loved, and I saw it in the reveal, where we're chasing after a helicopter, we're getting on the helicopter, jumping off of it and shit. I always loved that, and you're in buildings running. I want more of that, and I think they're going to deliver on that because he's Spider-Man. He could do that kind of shit, and it always looks really cool when they show us that and when we're able to do that. So keep doing that. I really want that aspect in that game. And I was thinking about something. Maybe I won't even get disappointed or anything if they don't try it or don't add it. But I'm thinking about maybe what if they added like a multiplayer to this Spider-Man game, because it's never been done before. They could try something new. I don't really have that many ideas for like a multiplayer Spider-Man game, but they could figure out something that would be cool. I wouldn't knock them for trying or not trying at all, just focusing on the story and the open world perspective. But I'm just saying, like, think about it. What could they do if they added a multiplayer in a Spider-Man game? That would be kind of cool. And I really want them to add Miles Morales as a playable character, just because, like, they showed him off. Can't just show off Miles Morales and then not be able to play him. So I really hope they don't pussy out of that. Last thing, you guys know I don't like exclusives, and it really is disappointing how this game is coming out for PS4 only, because it's a Spider-Man game. Spider-Man games, people don't really go like, yo, we need a Spider-Man game every year, or we need a Spider-Man game every 2 years. Spider-Man games, to be honest, the last like 5 Spider-Man games weren't that good. They really weren't that good. So I think because how this game is looking right now, it has a decent amount of hype. It looks good. It looks promising. And I think they should just come out for all the consoles, or at least Xbox One, because it will help with the sales. If you're just coming out for one console, then I don't know how well it's going to do, because people aren't jumping out of their seats for a Spider-Man game. It's cool, but I wish they would definitely reconsider the PS4 decision, because I don't agree with it. But that's just me. I don't really like exclusives for any console. If it's Xbox One, I don't fuck with it at all. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And thank you for staying tuned with me and watching me fuck up. But I'm off it. Peace, guys.